Stepping into the never-ending hallways of the academy, their eyes cannot seem to comprehend the vastness of this building. A seasoned student, with the name Lily Wilds etched onto her embroidered robe, guided them with a confident stride, revealing each corridor's secrets. The walls were painted with aged tapestries, depicting the exploits of legendary witches and wizards. Torches flickered in sconces like dragon fire, casting a warm glow on the stone, and the distant hum of magical activity permeated the air. Passing by classroom doors, they glimpsed into worlds of enchantment. One room was filled with students mastering the delicate art of potion brewing, where one couple seemed to be arguing over their concoctions, cauldrons on oak desks bubbling and emitting exotic scents. Another room you could hear the distant voices with the cadence of incantations as wizards in training practiced their spells, and there was laughter when it backfired. The walls themselves seemed alive, displaying animated pictures of upcoming events and scrolling text revealing what classes are happening or coming up. The twins marveled at the diversity of classrooms, from the herbology laboratory, which held canisters of mystical plants, to the courtyard tower, where at the top, the outside balcony was lined with different orbs, each one held an enchanted stream of knowledge. It was Lily who demonstrated how they worked to the students. Placing your hand onto the luminous ball, she invites the students to look up into the sky. There in the clearing, an instructional video played among the clouds. As they walked, the ambience shifted seamlessly, reflecting the unique character of each discipline. Lily paused at a majestic door with runes etched into the wood. "Here lies the Chamber of Arcane History," she explained, her voice filled with reverence. Beyond the entrance, shelves upon shelves held dusty tomes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries. The circle of students meandered through the academy's heart, where the nexus of magical energies pulsed. The sounds of lectures, the rustling of parchment, and the occasional burst of laughter created a symphony of academia. It was a place where knowledge intertwined with mystery. Anne and Riley absorbed it all, their expressions a mix of excitement and trepidation. The academy, with its labyrinth of knowledge, held the promise of endless discovery. As they continued their journey, Lily's explanations wove a story of understanding, unveiling the depths of the magical world that awaited the twins in each classroom and around every corner. As they reached a grand stairwell spiraling upwards, the sign on the wall said it led to the faraway tower. Lily Wilds abruptly halted the group with a stern gesture. "Hold on, everyone," she commanded, her eyes locking onto Riley, who was just about to ascend the steps. "Before we proceed, there are rules that must be followed within these hallowed halls. No running on the stairs, no unauthorized use of magic in the corridors, and absolutely no disregard for the safety of others." Riley's eyes narrowed at Lily's authoritative tone, and a smirk played on his lips as he replied, "Relax, we're not here to break your precious rules." Lily's jaw tightened. "It's wild to you, and I take the safety of my fellow students seriously." Riley's nonchalant demeanor persisted. "Right, Wilds? Got it." As Riley attempted to resume his ascent, Lily stepped in front of him, blocking his path. "I mean it. The rules apply to everyone, regardless of their background." Riley scoffed. "I've been through more dangerous situations in this bloody place than a staircase. I think I can handle a flight of steps." Lily's patience wore thin, and she glared at him. "These rules exist for a reason, to maintain order and protect everyone. Disregarding them shows a lack of respect for the academy and its traditions, most of all myself." Riley, undeterred, leaned in. "I'm not here to conform to your traditions, Wilds. I'm here to learn and use my magic the way I get shown how to by my lecturers, not by you." Lily's frustration bubbled to the surface. This academy has a rich history, and we follow these traditions to preserve the sanctity of magical knowledge. Your cavalier attitude undermines the very essence of what we stand for." Riley's gaze remained defiant, and Lily, determined to assert her authority, felt a knot tightening in her stomach. "You're not above the rules, you?" Not knowing his name, she stumbled on her words. He chuckled. "I've never been good at following rules, especially when they're as pointless as these ones." Lily's eyes flashed with a mix of anger and hurt. "This academy deserves far better than you, and so do your fellow students." Riley's response was a dismissive wave, and he finally ascended the staircase, leaving Lily flustered and emotionally shaken by the heated exchange. As Lily continued the tour, she found herself muttering to herself about Riley. The frustration turned to a hint of vulnerability in her voice, unintentionally audible to Riley, who lingered nearby. "Stubborn, arrogant, little nobody, yet I couldn't stop looking at him. I must have feelings?" "You," she admitted, her tone taking an unexpected turn towards flattery. Caught off guard, Riley smirked to himself, realizing that beneath Lily's stern facade there might be more to their dynamic than a simple clash of authority. The academy, with its enchanted corridors, now held not only the promise of magical knowledge, but the potential for unexpected connections that could prove to be enlightening. The grand staircase opened into a shared dormitory, its atmosphere alive with the energy of young wizards and witches. On one side, a corridor led towards the boys' rooms, while on the other, a parallel path veered towards the girls. Anne and Riley, inseparable siblings until now, faced the prospect of being separated overnight for the first time in ages. As Anne hesitated, Riley gave her a playful nudge. "Guess we'll have to survive a night apart. Don't worry, I'll still be within shouting distance." Anne mustered a half-smile, a hint of uncertainty in her eyes, before turning towards the girls' corridor. As she walked through the enchanting halls, a mixture of excitement and apprehension filled her. The dormitory revealed cozy nooks with plush chairs, personalized trinkets, and beds adorned with enchanted quilts. The shared common area greeted her with warmth emanating from a roaring magical fireplace where the head of a dragon lurked ominously on the face of the mantel, its eyes moving as you walked past it, letting out little puffs of smoke from its nostrils. Yet, amidst the chatter and laughter of fellow students, Anne's gaze was drawn to a solitary figure sitting by the flames. Lily Wilds, the strict guide from earlier, was now alone, lost in thought. Taking a deep breath, Anne approached Lily, who looked up with a subtle surprise, but invited her to sit nonetheless. The silence between them was filled with the comforting crackle of the fire. Anne observed Lily, noticing the weariness beneath her composed exterior. "You seemed a bit rattled back there with my brother." Anne finally spoke, breaking the silence. Lily's eyes met Anne's, a hint of vulnerability surfacing. Sometimes, even those who guide others can have moments that catch them off guard. Anne nodded understandingly. "It's a lot to handle, isn't it? The responsibility, the expectations that life puts on you. No matter where you are from, it is still the same." Lily sighed, her guard momentarily down. "Indeed. Teaching these young minds, even though I am not a teacher, preserving the legacy of magic, it's a weighty task." As the fire danced, casting shadows on the walls, Anne couldn't help but sense a shared understanding between them. Despite the differences in experience, both carried burdens and aspirations within the walls of the academy. The quietude lingered, broken only by the comforting ambience of the room. Anne's gaze met Lily's once more, and in that silent exchange they recognized a mutual acknowledgement of the challenges they faced. It was a connection that transcended words, a subtle understanding that spoke volumes. In the shared dormitory, surrounded by the magic and mystique of the academy, Anne and Lily found solace in the unspoken bond forged by the shared weight of their roles. The flickering flames illuminated not only the room, but also the new friendship that was growing, that happened even in the most unexpected moments. Lily glanced around cautiously before leaning towards Anne, her voice a hushed whisper in the enchanted dormitory. "Anne, I find myself in need of a new roommate. My previous one was transferred due to a misunderstanding over a forbidden spell. Would you do me the honor of being my new roommate?" Anne's eyebrows looked surprised. "Forbidden spell? What happened?" Lily hesitated, then spoke in a low tone. "It involved a powerful enchantment that manipulates time. The Academy strictly prohibits its use as it can royally screw up everything, but my former roommate attempted it, creating a temporal rift that caused unforeseen consequences, just like I told her it would." Anne's eyes widened. "Temporal magic? That sounds dangerous without you needing to even tell me." Lily nodded gravely. "Indeed, the incident exposed an impending threat to the Academy. There are whispers of 2 new students arriving here at some point soon, harboring something ancient that could jeopardize the safety of everyone here. Yet I'm not too certain about who they are. That scares me the most." Anne leaned in, her concern evident. "What kind of thing are we talking about here?" Lily took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "These students are linked to an ancient curse according to the rumors going around, one that involves a former lecturer who was cast out of the Academy for trying to destroy evidence of his involvement in trying to break the curse to get to some old relic that has the power to remove others' magic, meaning they would be in control of all magic. The curse is said to pose a danger to the very foundations of the Academy and Etheria." Anne's mind raced with questions. "What happened to the lecturer?" Lily continued in a whisper. "The lecturer was associated with forbidden magic. He had hoped it would connect him to the curse. The Academy had no choice but to expel them. Now it seems the curse has resurfaced with the arrival of these 2 students, and the Academy is on the brink of facing a threat it hasn't seen in centuries." Anne's eyes widened with realization, but she kept her composure. "Do you know who these students are?" Lily shook her head. "No, that information is being kept confidential. The faculty is investigating, but they've urged caution and vigilance among the students. Just a precaution, really. They may not even be coming here." Anne nodded solemnly, absorbing the weight of the revelation. "I understand. I'll keep an eye out for you. If I hear anything, you'll be the first to know." Lily, grateful for Anne's understanding, extended an unexpected offer. "Anne, considering the circumstances, would you be interested in being my friend? I believe having someone trustworthy by my side could be beneficial in these uncertain times. I really need someone who has their head screwed on straight." Anne hesitated for a moment, and in her mind, a little version of herself was jumping for joy. She then nodded with a genuine smile. "Of course, Lily. I'd be honored to be your roommate and of course your friend." As Anne and Lily solidified their unexpected alliance within the magical dormitory, the shadows of an ancient curse loomed over the Academy, unbeknownst to them. The threads of destiny were intricately woven, connecting past, present, and future, that would unravel with the arrival of 2 unsuspecting students, being Anne and Riley. Anne stepped into the girls' dormitory, which was a mixture of feminine hues, accenting the walls as wands all around her cast spells to decorate the individual sections, her senses engulfed by an array of magical aromas and soft, glowing lights that floated around the air like fireflies. The atmosphere was cozy, yet charged with an undercurrent of excitement. The other girls, engrossed in conversations or immersed in magical studies, stole glances at Anne as she walked by. The dormitory, lined with vibrant posters and trinkets from personalized decor, revealed a spectrum of magical tastes and preferences. Some beds were draped in silk canopies, others surrounded by different-sized crystals, each reflecting the unique personalities of their occupants. Anne's heart swelled with a mixture of curiosity and anticipation as she made her way through the enchanting space. As she entered the bathroom, the mystical ambience heightened. The air shimmered with faint traces of distant music, and the mirrors reflected not only physical appearances, but also the magical auras that surrounded each girl. Anne approached a mirror above one of the sinks, her reflection bathed in a golden glow. Her reflection, as she looked up and honed in on the color that surrounded her, made her feel warm and safe. Just as she began to lose herself in the moment, the door swung open, revealing two girls engaged in conversation. Both seemed high as a kite on what she didn't care to know. Both girls seemed a bit reluctant to even engage with her. Anne overheard their chatter about classes and walking around, and her attention sharpened when they started discussing Lily, her new friend. One girl, whose back was turned to Anne, had a slim, hourglass figure and long blonde hair, resembling the translucent color of snow. Anne couldn't see her face, but the voice was familiar. In stark contrast, the face she could see in the mirror as she looked up was a girl who seemed to be extremely well-built, toned muscles on her midriff that you could see under a crop top, short pixie cut with a fringe that was red like fire. The girl's tone turned disdainful, their words dripping with sarcasm. Anne, caught between frustration and loyalty, decided to confront them. "Lily is more than you give her credit for," the girls scoffed, dismissing Anne's words. One of them, with a wand in hand, sneered, "Lily is a coward. She hates people having fun, and she can't keep out of people's business. It's plain to see that she's going to be overruling everything we want to do, just like she did last year." Anne stood her ground, determination in her eyes. "I won't let you speak ill of her like that. You clearly don't know her as well as you think. She's just looking out for you." The tension escalated as the girl with the wand pressed it against Anne's neck, a threatening glint in her eyes. "Want a fight? As you're the new girl this year, I think it's only fair you either fight us or shut up." Anne, defiant yet composed, maintained eye contact. "I won't let anyone disrespect another person in that way. If you have a problem, we can settle it without threats." The standoff lingered for a moment, the magical atmosphere crackling with intensity. The other girls outside the bathroom door eavesdropped on the confrontation. Anne, though new to the academy, refused to back down, her resolve standing as a testament to the strength that blossomed from deep within her soul. As the argumentative twosome turned their backs on Anne, about to walk back into the dorm, she turned around, thinking the confrontation was over. She rested against the nearby sink, letting out a sigh of relief. However, as she looked up into the mirror one last time, a cold shiver ran down her spine. Reflected in the glass were the two girls, wands extended towards her back, malice evident in their expressions. Fear surged through Anne, but instead of succumbing to it, a surge of protective instinct took over. In a swift motion, she spun around to face them, her eyes ablaze with determination. A wisp of wind with magical energy fleetingly going through her hair as Anne conjured a protective spell, she was completely unaware she had the power to conjure anything so powerful. She looked at her hands in shock. A sudden burst of light enveloped the bathroom, and the two girls were propelled backward, their wands slipping from their hands as they flew through the door and slammed into the wall of the dormitory. The other girls in the dorm room gasped, their eyes now fixed on the open doorway to the bathroom with astonishment. Anne stood there in the archway of the open door, a mix of fear and sorrow coursing through her veins. The protective spell had acted as a shield, defending her from the threat. Yet she knew that her new friend was going to be wary of her, and after all these of being alone, she wasn't ready to have her new friend turn on her. The two girls, now disoriented and shaken, picked themselves up from the dormitory floor and pointed towards Anne with a gasping breath. One of them spoke with hatred in her beady brown eyes. The two girls, still recovering from the magical backlash, glared at Anne with resentment. The lead instigator, wand clenched tightly in her hand, spoke with feigned innocence. "You used magic on us. You could have seriously hurt us." Anne, undeterred, met the accusation head-on. "I defended myself. Your intentions were clear, and I won't let anyone harm me or my friends." The bully scoffed, attempting to play the victim. "You're lying. We were just having a conversation, and you attacked us out of nowhere." Anne, with a firm resolve, countered, "I saw your wands raised behind my back. I acted to protect myself. I won't apologize for defending against a threat." Lily, trying to diffuse the tension, interjected, "All right, that's enough. Let's not jump to conclusions. We need to address this calmly." The lead instigator, still seething, continued her accusations. "She's a danger to the academy. We need to report her. Who knows what kind of dark magic she's capable of?" Anne, feeling the weight of the situation, spoke with a measured tone. "I wasn't the one casting magic when her back was turned. I suggest you reflect on your own actions." Lily, torn between mediating and maintaining neutrality, tried to steer the conversation towards resolution. "Let's all take a step back. Accusations won't solve anything. We should focus on finding a way to coexist peacefully within the academy." As the tension lingered, Lily's gaze shifted towards Anne with a subtle hint of disappointment. Unspoken words hung in the air, signaling that even though Lily wasn't taking sides openly, she expected more from Anne. The encounter had revealed not only the complexities of relationships within the academy, but also the challenges Anne would face in navigating the delicate balance between trust and betrayal. Anne, though still cautious, faced them with a steely resolve. "I won't tolerate bullying. Learn to treat others with respect." "Lily, you believe me, right? I didn't even know I could cast magic like that. I haven't been taught how to use my magic properly." In front of the other female students, Lily's demeanor shifted as she addressed Anne, her tone stern and disapproving. "Anne, I'm disappointed in the way you handled that situation. Resorting to magic in a conflict is not acceptable behavior in this academy." Anne, feeling the weight of Lily's disapproval, stammered, "But Lily, Lily cut her off, her gaze unwavering. "I won't comment on the details. However, using magic without proper cause goes against the principles of this institution. You need to learn to resolve conflicts through dialogue, not through spells." The other girls exchanged glances, some whispering among themselves. Anne, now feeling insecure and small, struggled to find the right words. Lily continued, "If I was teaching you, I would be ashamed to be your teacher after that, Anne. I expected better judgment from you. You need to consider the consequences of your actions. This academy values discipline and respect." Anne, looking down, nodded in acknowledgement, her confidence visibly shaken. Lily's worry surfaced as she spoke in a softer tone. "I'm concerned, Anne. You haven't been completely transparent about your magical abilities. If there's more I need to know, now is the time to reveal it. We can't afford any more incidents like this. The consequences could be severe." Anne, now feeling the weight of not only disappointment, but potential punishment, mumbled, I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just wanted to protect myself." Lily, still stern, replied, "Protection is important, but there are proper channels and protocols here. If you have unique abilities, I need to be aware of them to guide you effectively in this kind of environment. Anne, if you don't mind following me, please." Leaving the girls behind them, as they remained quiet, threw out hushed, whispering, fixed gazes on them. Lily and Anne walked in silence through the quiet corridors, away from the main dormitory, towards Lily's private bedroom. The dimly lit hallway was filled with paintings depicting different magical ages, and the air held a faint scent of dust and old parchment. As they reached Lily's door, Lily produced a small, ornate key, shimmering with an iridescent shine. With a deft turn, the door swung open, revealing a sanctuary of enchantment within. The room emanates warmth by the light of candles in a myriad of different colors, and the soft glow of floating orbs filled the space with a gentle light. The walls had rustic shelves of ancient tomes, each pulsating with magical knowledge. Mystical artifacts and trinkets, collected from various corners of the world, had a specific space on every surface. The wind through the opened window carried the faint sound of dripping raindrops and the sound of a long cry through the echoing old school from the cold breeze. In the center of the room, an intricately designed rug lay, casting patterns of constellations across, up onto the ceiling. A desk, cluttered with scrolls and potions, stood against one wall, a testament to Lily's dedication to her craft. A soft breeze rustled the curtains, revealing a breathtaking view of the academy grounds. In a corner, nestled on a makeshift bed, woven from enchanted vines and twigs that seemed to breathe in time with the wind, was a small creature. Its head lifts softly to greet them. With a little flick of its ears, it's making cute noises like a bird, but yet looks like a soft, cuddly bear. Its eyes sparkled like rainbows, like an innocent child, as it gazed at Anne. Lily approached it with a fond smile. "This is Bonnie, my magical companion. She's been with me for a full year now. She's as soppy as they come. Creatures like this one are extremely rare. I found her in a poacher's den, ready to be sold for her skin and fur. I couldn't have that. So I paid for her out of my last coins I saved up last term. People say these creatures are not good companions, as they would never save you in magical combat. I think no creature should be underestimated." Anne, entranced by the magical ambience, took in the sights and sounds with wonder. The little creature chirped softly in acknowledgement. The room seemed alive, a manifestation of Lily's connection to the magical arts. Lily gestured towards a comfortable-looking chair. "Please make yourself at home, Anne. We need to have an honest conversation about what happened. I want to understand your perspective." As they settled into the room, the magical artifacts glowed with a soft radiance, creating an atmosphere of trust and openness. The private space allowed Lily and Anne to navigate the complexities of their relationship within the enchanted walls of Lily's haven, where the magic of understanding and connection could unfold. Anne fidgeted nervously in the comfortable chair, feeling the weight of Lily's gaze. Lily, however, sat across from her, her expression a mix of concern and understanding. "Anne, I need to know the truth about what happened in the bathroom. I can't defend you if I don't understand your side of the story." Anne took a deep breath, her eyes meeting Lily's with sincerity. "Lily, they were threatening me with their wands. I had to defend myself. I hope you understand that." Lily sighed, her disappointment evident. "Magic should be a last resort, Anne. We have rules for a reason, but I do understand why you felt threatened. I would too." "I know, and I didn't want to cause trouble. But I couldn't let them harm me," Anne explained, her voice carrying a mix of frustration and determination. Lily nodded, acknowledging Anne's perspective. "The one who instigated this, Nella, comes from a highly respected magical lineage. Her parents, especially her father, are prominent figures in the magical world. They have very specific expectations for her, and she's under immense pressure to live up to their standards." Anne frowned. "But that doesn't justify her behavior." Lily's eyes narrowed, and she spoke Nella's full name with a tinge of distaste. "Nella Ilaria LaRue. Her parents' expectations have turned her into someone I don't respect or like. It's really sad. We used to get along, but that's ancient history now." Feeling a shift in the atmosphere, Anne ventured into the question. Weird. I'm sure Ethan called her BG another name. Oh well, maybe it was an error. Lily, do you have any family? Lily's expression grew somber as she opened up about her own past. No, Anne. I lost my parents at a young age due to a magical accident. I was taken to a local orphanage run by an older woman, but I didn't stay there long enough to get to know anyone, not even the lady who took me in. Anne's eyes widened with empathy. Lily, I'm so sorry. That must have been devastating. It does sound as though the lady you knew back then could have been our mentor, Mrs. Perifold. She's harsh, cruel at times, but she's actually someone I admire. Lily continued, her gaze distant as she revisited painful memories. My parents' untimely death fueled my determination to better myself at the academy. It became my refuge, a place where I could excel and find solace in the pursuit of knowledge, instead of constantly thinking why I was left on my own. Anne, now understanding the depth of Lily's resilience, said softly, You've been through so much, Lily. If I had known, I wouldn't have pressed you for information. Lily nodded, a faint smile tugging at her lips. We all have our stories, Anne. It's what shapes us. I just want you to understand that using magic recklessly isn't the solution. We must find other ways to navigate the challenges the Academy throws our way. As the two shared a moment of connection and understanding, the enchanted room seemed to hold the echoes of both their pasts, each carrying burdens that shaped their realities. Lily led Anne back towards the dormitory, the weight of their conversation lingering in Anne's mind. As they entered the room, Lily cleared her throat, capturing the attention of the other girls. Ladies, I'd like you to meet Anne. She's new to the academy, and I thought it would be nice for her to get to know everyone. Most of the girls greeted Anne warmly, introducing themselves and expressing curiosity about her magical background. However, Nella, the instigator of the earlier conflict, remained silent in the corner, casting a dismissive glance towards Anne, playing with a letter opener in a menacing way. Lily, sensing the tension, approached Nella. Nella, I know it was you who instigated this attack first. Please would you apologize, or is sorry not in your vocabulary? Nella hesitated, her eyes finally meeting Anne's as she rolled them to the back of her head. I guess I am sorry, Anne. My actions were out of line. Anne, despite her own reservations, nodded. I'm sorry too. It shouldn't have escalated like that. It was my fault for getting so upset. Reluctantly, both girls exchanged apologies, and a semblance of peace settled in the room. The other girls, sensing the resolution, shifted their focus towards involving Anne in their conversations and activities. As Lily looked on around the room felt transformed. Laughter and camaraderie replaced the tension, and Anne found herself becoming a part of the magical sisterhood within the dormitory. The enchanted space, once clouded with conflict, now resonated with the warmth of acceptance and newfound friendships. This hinted at the potential for growth and unity within the group, leaving Anne with a sense of belonging for the first time in her life.